Imagine having control over your money without stress, without the constant worry about bills, investments, or unexpected expenses. Imagine knowing exactly how to grow your wealth steadily, protect it, and make it work for you quietly and effectively. This is not about flashy displays or risky bets. This is about practical, real-world strategies that anyone can apply, step by step, to create lasting financial security. In this audiobook, you will discover how to manage every dollar in your life, build multiple sources of income, and invest wisely so your money grows while you sleep. You will learn how to eliminate debt, develop discipline to stick to your goals, and make smarter decisions with every financial choice you face. You will see how to protect your assets, let wealth grow over time through patience, and optimize your lifestyle so every dollar counts. And most importantly, you will learn how to give in ways that create impact and attract abundance back into your life. Each chapter is designed to give you actionable steps, practical guidance, and insights you can use immediately. You will be guided in a way that is easy to understand, relatable, and motivating. By following these principles, you will not only grow your wealth quietly, but also gain confidence, freedom, and a sense of control over your financial future. If you are ready to take charge of your money and your life, this audiobook will show you how to do it step by step, with clarity, purpose, and results. Chapter 1: Master Budgeting to Control Every Dollar in Your Life. Mastering your budget is not simply about numbers on a page or tracking receipts. It is about taking full control of your life, understanding the flow of your money, and making deliberate choices that shape your present and future. Every dollar you earn carries potential, but if left unmanaged, it slips through your fingers quietly, unnoticed. When you truly learn to manage your money, you are not only securing financial stability, but also cultivating the mindset of discipline, awareness, and resilience. Budgeting is the foundation of every successful life because it teaches you self-mastery and builds confidence in your ability to handle challenges. The first step in mastering your budget is to know exactly where your money is coming from and where it is going. This starts with honesty. Many people underestimate their spending habits or avoid looking closely at their finances because it feels uncomfortable. Avoidance, however, is a luxury that leads to unnecessary stress and missed opportunities. Start by creating a clear record of your income. Include every source, even small side earnings. A complete picture of your income allows you to plan with certainty, and certainty breeds confidence. Confidence, in turn, empowers action, because when you know what you have, you know what you can do. Once your income is clearly defined, turn your attention to your spending. Track every expense meticulously. Small daily purchases add up more than most people realize. Coffee on the way to work, subscriptions you barely use, small snacks. These expenditures may seem insignificant alone, but combined they can silently drain your resources. Recording every expense without judgment allows you to see patterns. Patterns reveal habits. Habits are the lever you can use to change your financial life. When you identify areas where money leaves your hands unconsciously, you gain the ability to redirect it toward growth, savings, or investment. After tracking income and expenses, categorize your spending. Essential categories include housing, utilities, food, transportation, insurance, and savings. Beyond these basics, identify discretionary spending, the areas where choices are made based on preference rather than necessity. Understanding the difference between essentials and discretionary expenses provides clarity. It also highlights areas where you can make small sacrifices to redirect money toward priorities that have a real impact on your life. For instance, reducing unnecessary subscriptions or limiting luxury purchases frees funds that can be invested in growth or security. Categorization is not a limitation, it is liberation. It creates the awareness needed to make intentional decisions. Setting clear financial goals is the next critical step. Every budget needs a purpose. A budget without direction is merely a ledger of transactions, not a tool for transformation. Goals give every dollar a role. Decide what matters most: building an emergency fund, saving for a home, investing for the future, or eliminating debt. Assign a portion of your income to each goal with precision. Allocate resources in a way that aligns with your values and ambitions. When every dollar is assigned intentionally, money becomes a tool, not a source of stress. Goals create momentum because they provide a vision for why discipline matters. Discipline is essential to making a budget work. It is not enough to track expenses and categorize them if you cannot follow the plan consistently. Discipline is built in small daily choices. It is refusing an unnecessary purchase when the impulse arises. It is choosing to save a portion of your paycheck before spending it elsewhere. The human mind is easily distracted by desire and emotion, but a disciplined approach ensures that decisions are made consciously. Daily discipline compounds over time, just as consistent saving compounds into financial security. Every choice reinforces your control and strengthens your capacity to live deliberately. Building flexibility into your budget is equally important. Life is unpredictable. Emergencies, unexpected bills, and changes in income are inevitable. A rigid budget that cannot adapt will create stress and frustration. Include a contingency fund to absorb unforeseen expenses. Allow for some discretionary spending within reasonable limits so that your financial plan is sustainable. Flexibility does not mean lack of control. It means resilience. It allows you to stay committed to your financial path even when circumstances change. Adaptability is a form of strength, and strength ensures long-term consistency. One of the most effective techniques for mastering your budget is the use of the envelope system. Assign physical or digital envelopes to specific categories of spending. Once the money in an envelope is gone, no additional funds are spent in that category for the month. This creates boundaries that are easy to follow and removes ambiguity about how much is available. The envelope system transforms abstract numbers into tangible resources, making the consequences of spending clear and immediate. When you experience money as a limited and defined resource, it encourages mindfulness and reduces waste. Automation is another practical tool for mastering your budget. Set up automatic transfers to savings and investment accounts. Schedule automatic bill payments to avoid late fees. Automation removes the friction of decision making and ensures that your priorities are met without relying on willpower alone. It is a way of structuring your life so that discipline is embedded into your daily routine. By automating key financial actions, you prevent the pitfalls of procrastination and ensure that your long-term goals receive consistent support. Mindset is central to budgeting mastery. Treat money as a servant, not a master. Many people experience financial stress because they allow money to dictate their emotions. A disciplined budget transforms this relationship. You decide how money is used, where it goes, and what it supports. This sense of control reduces anxiety and increases confidence. Financial mastery is not about wealth alone, it is about freedom and choice. Every dollar managed thoughtfully reinforces a mindset of power, responsibility, and intentional living. Developing this mindset requires daily practice, reflection, and a commitment to living below your means while directing resources strategically. Tracking progress is essential for sustained improvement. Set measurable benchmarks and review them regularly. Monitor your savings rate, debt reduction, investment contributions, and overall financial growth. Regular review creates accountability. It allows you to see the results of your disciplined actions and adjust strategies if necessary. Celebrating milestones reinforces positive behavior, and adjusting when goals are missed demonstrates resilience. Mastery of budgeting is not static. It is a dynamic process that evolves as your life and circumstances change. Consistent review ensures that your financial plan remains relevant, practical, and effective. Cutting expenses strategically is a skill that every quiet millionaire develops. Examine discretionary spending for areas of potential savings. Small adjustments, when compounded over months and years, create substantial results. Consider negotiating bills, shopping with intention, and eliminating wasteful habits. Each dollar saved becomes an opportunity to invest, save, or grow wealth. Frugality is not deprivation, it is empowerment. It ensures that every dollar contributes to progress rather than simply satisfying temporary desire. Practicing this skill strengthens your control and increases financial resilience. Building an emergency fund is non-negotiable. Life is uncertain, and without a safety net, even disciplined individuals are vulnerable to setbacks. Allocate resources to cover 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. This fund provides security, reduces stress, and allows you to make decisions from a place of strength rather than desperation. Emergencies will arise. Preparation ensures they do not derail your progress. A secure foundation is essential for growth because it allows for risk-taking and strategic investment without fear. Understanding the psychology of spending is crucial. Emotions drive many financial decisions. Impulse purchases, attempts to keep up with others, or compensating for stress can undermine your budget. Awareness of these triggers allows you to implement strategies to counteract them. Pause before making non-essential purchases. Ask whether the expense aligns with your goals. Reinforce the habit of mindful spending. Over time, conscious decision-making transforms habits, strengthens discipline, and reduces the influence of external pressures. Mindset and psychology are as important as numbers when it comes to mastering money. Incorporating saving as a core habit is vital. Aim to pay yourself first. Allocate a portion of income to savings before addressing other expenses. This simple but powerful principle prioritizes your future over immediate gratification. Savings provide options, freedom, and security. Even modest amounts, when consistently applied, accumulate significant wealth over time. The habit of saving is foundational to financial independence. Treat savings as non-negotiable and automatic. Over time, this approach shifts your entire relationship with money from reactive to proactive. Leveraging technology can simplify budgeting. Use apps to track spending, categorize expenses, and forecast future balances. Digital tools provide instant insight, simplify record keeping, and enhance accountability. Technology complements discipline by providing clarity and feedback in real time. It removes uncertainty and supports informed decision-making. When used effectively, these tools strengthen your ability to maintain control over every dollar and provide a clear picture of progress toward your goals. Accountability enhances commitment. Share your budgeting goals with a trusted advisor, partner, or mentor. Regularly discuss progress and challenges. Accountability ensures that you remain honest with yourself and your plan. It creates external support that reinforces internal discipline. When progress is monitored and discussed, motivation increases and setbacks are minimized. Combining accountability with consistent tracking amplifies the effectiveness of your budgeting efforts. Continuous learning is a principle of financial mastery. Educate yourself on personal finance, investment strategies, and wealth-building techniques. Knowledge strengthens decision-making and expands opportunities. A well-informed individual can make choices that maximize potential and avoid unnecessary risks. Financial literacy is not a one-time effort, it is ongoing. Reading, listening to experts, and analyzing successful strategies enhances your capacity to manage money effectively. Mastery grows through curiosity, study, and the application of knowledge in daily life. Finally, budgeting is about freedom and choice. It empowers you to live deliberately, make strategic decisions, and align spending with values. Controlling every dollar reduces stress, provides security, and creates opportunities for growth. When applied consistently, budgeting transforms life from reactive survival to proactive mastery. The quiet millionaire does not flaunt wealth but exercises deliberate control, ensuring that resources serve purpose, security, and growth. Every action, every choice, and every dollar contributes to building a life of stability, resilience, and opportunity. Mastering budgeting is an ongoing process that requires attention, discipline, and reflection. It begins with awareness, continues with deliberate action, and strengthens through consistent application. Every step tracking, categorizing, saving, reviewing, and adjusting reinforces control over your financial life. Discipline, flexibility, and mindfulness create a foundation for financial security and growth. By treating money as a tool, practicing conscious spending, and committing to continuous improvement, you gain freedom and confidence. The habits formed through budgeting extend beyond finance, shaping your mindset, decision-making, and capacity to handle challenges across all areas of life. Mastery of budgeting is not just about controlling money, it is about controlling yourself, your choices, and the life you are building. When you approach budgeting as a deliberate and disciplined practice, it becomes a path to independence, security, and self-mastery. It teaches patience, awareness, and strategic thinking. Each dollar controlled strengthens confidence and enhances resilience. This is the beginning of a transformation that extends beyond finances into every aspect of life. The principles, actions, and habits cultivated through effective budgeting create a ripple effect, improving decision-making, focus, and long-term growth. Mastering budgeting is the first step toward becoming a quiet millionaire, a person who manages money with discretion, wisdom, and unwavering control, allowing wealth and freedom to grow silently yet powerfully. Chapter 20: Build multiple income streams to grow wealth consistently. Building multiple income streams is not just about earning more money, it is about creating resilience, freedom, and security in your life. Relying on a single source of income is a risk that few recognize until it is too late. Jobs can end, businesses can slow down, markets can shift. By intentionally creating additional sources of revenue, you ensure that you are never fully dependent on one channel, and you gain the flexibility to pursue opportunities without fear. Each income stream adds a layer of protection, allowing you to approach life from a position of strength rather than necessity. The first step is to identify your skills, passions, and resources. Look at what you already know how to do and what you can offer to others. Skills are transferable and often undervalued. Writing, teaching, consulting, coding, design, and communication are examples of abilities that can generate extra income if applied strategically. The key is to match skills with opportunities where people are willing to pay for value. This process requires honesty about your strengths, realistic assessment of demand, and clarity about how much time you can invest. Choosing the right income streams requires alignment between what you can provide and what the world needs. Next, diversify income types. There are three primary ways to earn beyond a salary: active income, semi-passive income, and passive income. Active income requires your direct involvement, such as freelancing or consulting. Semi-passive income involves some initial effort, like creating an online course or developing a small business, with ongoing maintenance. Passive income requires upfront work or investment and then continues to generate revenue with minimal effort, such as dividends, royalties, or rental income. Understanding the differences allows you to balance effort and reward. A diversified approach ensures that if one stream falters, others continue to support your financial stability. Identifying market opportunities is essential. Look for areas where demand exceeds supply or where you can offer a unique perspective. Study trends, analyze competitors, and listen to what people need. Research is not optional, it is a critical part of building successful income streams. The more you understand your audience and the gaps in the market, the better positioned you are to provide meaningful solutions. Start small to test concepts, measure results, and refine your approach. Success rarely comes from assumptions, it comes from observation, adaptation, and consistent effort. Leverage existing resources. Your network, your knowledge, your time, and your assets are all tools that can generate additional income. Offering mentorship, teaching workshops, or creating content for online platforms allows you to convert experience into value. Renting unused space or equipment transforms idle resources into revenue. Often, opportunities exist close to home, waiting to be recognized. The quiet millionaire sees value in what is underutilized and creates streams of income without extravagant investment. Maximizing what you already have accelerates growth and reduces risk. Automation and scalability are critical when building multiple income streams. Once an initial stream is established, consider ways to make it more efficient. Use technology to automate repetitive tasks, such as payment processing, marketing, or scheduling. Scalability allows you to expand without proportionally increasing effort. For example, digital products, online courses, and software solutions can reach thousands without requiring additional time per customer. This principle separates temporary income from long-term wealth creation. Systems enable growth and allow your income streams to multiply in effectiveness. Mindset is as important as strategy. Treat each income source as an experiment, not a guarantee. Expect failures and view them as learning opportunities. Avoid chasing trends blindly. Instead, focus on consistency and value creation. Patience and persistence are necessary because building multiple streams takes time. Results are rarely immediate. Each effort compounds over months and years, eventually creating a stable and diversified financial base. Resilience, adaptability, and a willingness to learn separate those who succeed from those who give up too early. Risk management is crucial. Not every idea will succeed, and some ventures involve financial or reputational risk. Protect yourself by starting small, limiting exposure, and maintaining a safety net. Diversifying income naturally reduces risk, but thoughtful planning ensures that setbacks in one area do not derail overall progress. Each stream should contribute to stability rather than jeopardize it. Discipline in evaluation and execution ensures that effort is focused where returns are meaningful and sustainable. Tracking and reviewing progress strengthens performance. Monitor earnings, time investment, and growth potential for each income source. Regular evaluation allows adjustments, reallocations, and elimination of underperforming streams. Without feedback, effort may be wasted. Measure results objectively and make decisions based on data rather than emotion. Continuous improvement ensures that every dollar invested or earned works efficiently toward long-term financial stability. Growth becomes predictable when assessment and adaptation are integral to the process. Time management is a foundational skill when managing multiple streams. Effective allocation of hours prevents burnout and ensures consistent progress. Prioritize activities that produce the highest value, delegate or automate less critical tasks, and maintain focus on strategic objectives. Each hour dedicated to productive income generation compounds in effect. Discipline in time usage separates those who create meaningful wealth from those who remain stuck in cycles of minimal progress. The Quiet Millionaire respects time as much as money and structures life to maximize both. Collaboration and partnerships can accelerate growth. Identify individuals or organizations whose skills complement your own. Joint ventures, co-created products, or shared services reduce workload and increase market reach. Collaboration often unlocks opportunities that would be difficult to achieve alone. Strategic partnerships amplify resources and knowledge while minimizing risk. Surround yourself with people who bring expertise, drive, and reliability. The combination of multiple minds often produces greater results than any single effort, making collaboration a force multiplier in building wealth. Education and skill development must be continuous. Income streams evolve as markets, technology, and demands change. Investing in learning ensures that skills remain relevant, competitive, and valuable. Attend workshops, take courses, read industry insights, and experiment with new approaches. Knowledge acquired today can become revenue tomorrow. Adaptation is essential because static skills rarely create lasting advantage. The Quiet Millionaire invests in themselves to ensure their efforts generate maximum returns over time. Lifelong learning is the engine that powers diversification and sustained growth. The principle of compounding applies not only to money, but to effort and knowledge. Early investments in skills, networks, and businesses multiply returns over years. Each additional stream compounds existing stability, creating exponential potential. Focused and consistent work on multiple avenues allows small efforts to eventually create significant financial independence. Building multiple streams is not about quick wins, it is about steady accumulation, resilience, and strategic expansion. Patience and dedication are as critical as creativity and action in this process. A strong focus on value creation ensures that income streams are sustainable. People pay for solutions that solve problems, improve lives, or save time. Income generated from value creation is more resilient than that based on speculation or temporary trends. Understand the needs of your audience, deliver quality, and maintain integrity. Reputation and reliability become assets in themselves, attracting further opportunities. Consistent value delivery ensures long-term relevance and supports the creation of additional revenue avenues. Managing income streams requires organization and systems. Keep accurate records of revenue, expenses, and performance metrics for each stream. Separate accounts or digital tracking helps maintain clarity. Proper management reduces stress, prevents mistakes, and allows for strategic decisions. Efficiency in monitoring and administration frees mental energy for innovation and growth. The Quiet Millionaire prioritizes clarity and structure, knowing that organized effort produces predictable results. Finally, patience and persistence tie all efforts together. Building multiple income streams is a process, not a single action. It requires experimentation, adaptation, and repeated effort. Set realistic milestones and celebrate progress, but remain focused on long-term objectives. The journey involves learning, setbacks, and refinement. Consistent action aligned with strategic thinking ensures steady growth. Over time, the combination of diversified revenue, disciplined execution, and ongoing education creates a robust foundation of wealth, independence, and security. Multiple income streams provide more than financial gain. They cultivate independence, resilience, and confidence. By taking control of earnings, diversifying sources, and consistently adding value, financial stability becomes a natural outcome. The Quiet Millionaire does not depend on luck or a single paycheck. They design a life where money flows from multiple channels, each reinforcing the other. Strategic effort, deliberate planning, and relentless action transform opportunities into consistent revenue. This approach not only builds wealth but also empowers life choices, reduces vulnerability, and creates freedom to focus on what matters most. Managing multiple income streams is a lifelong practice. It involves assessment, learning, experimentation, and refinement. The commitment to growth ensures that income continues to expand, security is reinforced, and personal and professional potential is fully realized. Discipline, strategy, and patience combine to produce lasting results. The Quiet Millionaire understands that wealth is built not through chance but through thoughtful, consistent, and diversified effort applied over time. Chapter 30: Invest wisely to secure your financial future today. Investing is not a gamble. It is a deliberate process of allocating resources today to create security and opportunity tomorrow. Every decision to invest carries potential to grow your wealth, but without knowledge and strategy, potential can quickly turn into risk. Wise investment is rooted in understanding, patience, and discipline. It begins with clarity about your financial goals, risk tolerance, and timeline. These three elements form the foundation upon which all sound investment decisions are built. Knowing what you want to achieve, how much risk you can endure, and how long you plan to commit allows you to make informed choices instead of reacting impulsively. The first step in wise investing is establishing a clear plan. Define your objectives in concrete terms. Are you seeking long-term growth, supplemental income, retirement security, or protection against inflation? Each objective requires a different approach. For long-term growth, consider equities, mutual funds, or index funds that compound value over decades. For supplemental income, explore dividends, rental properties, or bonds that provide consistent cash flow. For security against economic fluctuations, a mix of low-risk instruments like government bonds or cash equivalents may be appropriate. A plan ensures every investment aligns with purpose rather than whim. Understanding risk is essential. Risk is not inherently bad. It is the measure of potential variation in outcomes. High returns often accompany higher risk, but risk must be managed, not ignored. Diversification is the primary tool for risk management. Spread investments across different asset classes, industries, and geographic regions. Diversification reduces exposure to sudden losses in any single area. Rebalancing your portfolio periodically maintains the intended risk level and ensures growth remains steady. Managing risk intelligently allows confidence to grow alongside your wealth, reducing anxiety about market fluctuations. Research is critical in investment decision-making. Every opportunity should be examined carefully, assessing historical performance, market trends, financial statements, and potential for future growth. Knowledge provides an advantage, reduces uncertainty, and informs timing. Avoid speculative decisions based on hype, rumor, or emotion. Success comes from understanding fundamentals and evaluating probabilities, not guessing. Researching investments consistently sharpens judgment and improves the quality of choices, leading to higher probability of favorable outcomes over time. Start with instruments that match your knowledge and comfort level. Familiarity reduces mistakes and builds confidence. If you understand stocks, Begin with equities before moving into more complex options or commodities. If real estate aligns with experience, begin with a manageable property rather than a large commercial venture. Comfort and competence matter because they allow clear decisions and consistent management. Gradual expansion into more complex investments is safer than jumping blindly into unknown markets. Experience provides lessons that cannot be learned from theory alone, making incremental growth a superior strategy. Long-term perspective is a cornerstone of successful investing. Short-term volatility is inevitable, but focusing on years or decades allows compounding to work its power. Resist the temptation to react emotionally to temporary market swings. Patience transforms fluctuations into opportunity. Regularly contributing to investments over time smooths risk and increases cumulative returns. Time, combined with consistent action, turns modest initial amounts into significant wealth. Understanding the value of patience allows investors to maintain perspective, avoid panic, and harness the power of gradual growth. Leverage should be used cautiously. Borrowing to invest can amplify returns, but it can also magnify losses. Wise investors use leverage strategically and sparingly, understanding the consequences of overextension. Debt used for productive, calculated purposes can accelerate wealth creation, but reckless borrowing leads to vulnerability. Conservative, informed use of leverage aligns with disciplined risk management and ensures long-term stability rather than short-term gain. Monitoring and adjusting investments is crucial. The world changes rapidly, and what worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. Regularly review performance, assess goals, and adjust allocations as circumstances evolve. Rebalancing ensures that your portfolio reflects your current priorities, risk tolerance, and market conditions. Adjustments are not impulsive reactions, but thoughtful responses based on data and foresight. Continuous evaluation keeps investments relevant, effective, and aligned with strategic objectives. Understanding the role of tax implications is an important part of investment planning. Taxes can significantly impact returns, and strategic planning can reduce unnecessary losses. Choose investment vehicles with favorable tax treatment when possible. Timing the sale of assets, leveraging tax-advantaged accounts, and understanding capital gains rules contribute to maximizing net gains. Awareness of taxation ensures that every decision considers the full financial impact, strengthening overall performance and efficiency of wealth growth. Investing is also about protection. Insurance, asset protection strategies, and estate planning safeguard wealth from unexpected events. Market gains can be undermined by accidents, illness, or legal challenges if assets are not protected. Preparing for contingencies ensures that investments continue to serve their purpose regardless of personal or economic circumstances. The quiet investor safeguards not only growth but also preservation, maintaining stability and resilience through unforeseen events. Emotional discipline is as important as technical knowledge. Fear and greed are powerful forces that lead to poor decisions. Avoid impulsive buying or selling based on market noise. A rational approach anchored in goals, research, and strategy prevents mistakes caused by temporary excitement or panic. Self-awareness allows investors to recognize emotional triggers and maintain focus on long-term objectives. Mastery of emotion ensures that every action serves deliberate purpose rather than reactionary impulse. Regular contributions are a fundamental principle. Even small amounts, invested consistently, accumulate substantially over time. Automating contributions removes the risk of procrastination and builds steady growth. Consistency is more important than size initially because momentum and habit compound over time. Each regular contribution reinforces discipline, strengthens commitment, and leverages the advantage of compounding returns. Continuous learning enhances investment acumen. Markets evolve, financial instruments change, and new opportunities emerge. Staying informed about economic trends, investment strategies, and innovations increases potential for growth and reduces vulnerability. Knowledge enhances decision-making, allowing confident selection and management of investments. Lifelong learning ensures adaptability, relevance, and long-term advantage. Understanding liquidity is necessary. Some investments are illiquid, meaning funds cannot be accessed quickly without potential loss. Balance investments between liquidity and long-term growth according to needs. Access to funds during emergencies or opportunities requires planning and strategy. Liquidity management ensures that wealth works efficiently without creating unnecessary constraints or risk. The quiet approach to investing avoids unnecessary noise. Focus on quality, consistency, and results rather than showmanship. Avoid chasing trends or following popular but unproven ideas. Measured, deliberate investment yields better outcomes than impulsive actions driven by hype. Reputation, trust, and reliability are assets in themselves. Maintaining discipline, integrity, and informed judgment is more valuable than rapid or flashy gains. Understanding diversification extends beyond asset classes. Within equities, consider industries, market capitalizations, and geographies. Within real estate, evaluate property types, locations, and tenant profiles. A well-diversified approach smooths volatility, increases resilience, and maximizes potential for consistent returns. Complexity should not be avoided, but managed carefully to ensure effective risk distribution and growth. Reinvesting gains accelerates wealth creation. Instead of immediately spending profits, reinvest dividends, interest, or rental income. This creates compounding growth, turning modest initial investments into significant wealth over time. Discipline in reinvestment separates those who achieve substantial long-term results from those who exhaust opportunities prematurely. Each decision to reinvest amplifies potential and strengthens the foundation for future prosperity. Professional guidance can enhance outcomes. Engaging advisors, mentors, or experts provides perspective, experience, and insight. Guidance does not replace responsibility, but it enhances decision-making and increases confidence. Select advisors carefully, seeking competence, integrity, and alignment with your goals. Expert input complements personal effort, ensuring investments are managed strategically and effectively. Finally, investing wisely is about aligning action with purpose. Every decision, contribution, and adjustment should reflect long-term objectives and personal values. Investments are not merely financial transactions, they are tools to secure freedom, opportunity, and stability. Discipline, knowledge, patience, and resilience combine to transform resources into lasting wealth. The quiet investor understands that wealth grows through intentional action, careful evaluation, and unwavering commitment to objectives over time. Investing is a lifelong practice of discipline, knowledge, and patience. Every step taken with clarity and purpose contributes to long-term security and opportunity. The combination of strategy, diversification, emotional control, and continuous learning ensures that wealth grows steadily, responsibly, and sustainably. The quiet approach to investing avoids unnecessary risk, noise, and haste, focusing instead on deliberate, informed, and consistent action. Over time, this approach transforms modest resources into financial strength, independence, and lasting stability, ensuring that every decision made today supports the life you want to create tomorrow. Chapter 40: Eliminate debt to free yourself from financial pressure. Debt is a weight that can quietly control every part of life without notice, creating stress, limiting choices, and reducing freedom. Every obligation owed to others is a claim on your energy, your focus, and your future. To achieve real financial independence, debt must be addressed with deliberate action, strategy, and discipline. Eliminating debt is not simply a financial act, it is a form of self-mastery. The process strengthens patience, prioritization, and resilience, teaching lessons that extend far beyond money. It begins with awareness, a willingness to face reality, and a commitment to change habits that allowed debt to grow in the first place. Start by understanding the full scope of what you owe. List every liability, including credit cards, personal loans, mortgages, lines of credit, and any other form of borrowed money. Include interest rates, minimum payments, due dates, and any associated fees. A complete picture of debt provides clarity and creates a foundation for strategic planning. Ignoring details may lead to mismanagement, missed payments, and mounting interest. Knowledge of your obligations is not intimidating when approached with focus, it is empowering. Awareness transforms uncertainty into action. Prioritize debt strategically. While some approaches focus on interest rates, others emphasize balance size. The avalanche method targets high-interest debts first, minimizing long-term costs. The snowball method focuses on small balances, building momentum through quick wins. Both approaches create discipline and measurable progress. Choosing a method is less important than committing to consistent application. Progress, not perfection, drives results. Establishing a repayment sequence provides direction, reduces chaos, and keeps motivation high throughout the journey. Create a realistic plan for repayment. Determine how much you can allocate each month toward debt reduction after meeting essential living expenses. This may require adjustments to discretionary spending, temporary sacrifices, or the generation of additional income. Budgeting for repayment ensures consistent action and prevents debt from growing further. A clear, structured approach turns what can feel like an overwhelming challenge into manageable steps. Discipline in execution reinforces confidence and control. Increase your payments whenever possible. Even small additional contributions accelerate the journey toward freedom. Extra payments reduce principal, which lowers interest costs and shortens the repayment timeline. Treat debt reduction like an investment in your future, where every dollar applied today creates tangible progress tomorrow. Consistency matters more than one-time large payments. Incremental improvements build momentum and compound into meaningful results over time. Avoid creating new debt during this process. Each new obligation undermines progress and extends the timeline. Shift mindset from immediate gratification to long-term stability. Learning to delay desires, prioritize needs, and value financial security is fundamental. Discipline in spending habits prevents the cycle of debt from repeating. Every decision to resist unnecessary purchases strengthens control and builds resilience. Awareness of the triggers that lead to borrowing is as important as the repayment itself. Consider negotiation or restructuring when necessary. Many lenders are willing to adjust terms for borrowers who communicate proactively. Lowering interest rates, consolidating loans, or adjusting payment schedules can reduce strain and make repayment more achievable. Strategic engagement with creditors demonstrates responsibility, preserves reputation, and creates room for faster progress. Effective negotiation is a tool for those who plan carefully and act with intention rather than urgency. Generate additional income to accelerate repayment. Extra money, whether from freelance work, side businesses, or selling unused assets, directly reduces debt and decreases the total interest paid. Income generation adds speed and leverage to the process without relying solely on sacrifice. Every new dollar applied to debt strengthens control over finances and reduces long-term obligations. Creative, consistent effort amplifies results and builds confidence. Automate payments to maintain consistency. Missing a payment can result in penalties and increased interest, slowing progress. Automation ensures that every scheduled payment is made reliably, reinforcing discipline and preventing setbacks. Automation removes reliance on memory or willpower alone, making progress predictable and consistent. It also reduces mental load, allowing focus on strategy, growth, and value creation rather than repetitive administrative tasks. Maintain motivation through measurable milestones. Set short-term targets such as paying off a single credit card, reaching a debt reduction percentage, or eliminating specific loans. Celebrate these achievements to reinforce positive behavior and maintain commitment. Tracking progress visually through charts, apps, or written logs transforms abstract debt into concrete progress. Motivation arises from seeing results, however small, consistently accumulate over time. Analyze the reasons debt occurred to prevent future recurrence. Examine spending habits, lifestyle choices, or circumstances that contributed to borrowing. Understanding root causes is not about blame, but about creating insight for better decision-making. Adjust behavior, set boundaries, and develop financial strategies that reduce vulnerability to new obligations. Self-awareness is a tool that strengthens the ability to maintain freedom after debt is eliminated. Protect progress by avoiding high-risk financial behaviors. Impulse purchases, easy credit, or speculative ventures can undo months or years of discipline. Stay focused on the objective, complete repayment and the freedom it brings. Each action should be evaluated against the goal of financial independence. Maintaining awareness of priorities ensures that short-term temptation does not derail long-term plans. The quiet approach to money is deliberate, cautious, and consistent. Build a support system for accountability. Sharing goals with a trusted friend, mentor, or financial coach provides reinforcement and perspective. Accountability increases the likelihood of adherence to plans and encourages persistence through challenges. External observation can prevent rationalizations or excuses that slow progress. Discipline is strengthened when actions are measured not only internally, but also against consistent feedback from others who care about your success. Focus on the psychological benefits of debt elimination. Beyond financial relief, reducing obligations improves mental clarity, reduces stress, and increases freedom of choice. The emotional impact of progress reinforces the value of discipline and patience. Each milestone reached strengthens confidence and motivation for continued effort. Awareness of the holistic benefits of elimination deepens commitment and provides sustained purpose. Relocate freed resources to growth once debts are cleared. Money previously dedicated to repayment can now be applied toward investments, savings, or the creation of new income streams. This shift transforms financial energy from reactive management into proactive wealth building. The habits developed during debt elimination, discipline, strategic planning, and persistence serve as a foundation for future success. Learning from the process ensures that new freedom is used wisely. Develop a long-term strategy to maintain debt-free status. Emergency funds, responsible budgeting, and ongoing awareness of spending prevent relapse. Discipline cultivated during repayment should evolve into proactive financial management. Avoiding debt is as much about habit formation as it is about principle. Sustained freedom comes from vigilance, planning, and a commitment to living within means while directing resources toward value creation. Eliminating debt is both practical and transformational. Each payment, adjustment, and strategy is an exercise in self-control, patience, and foresight. The process teaches lessons that extend into broader life skills such as prioritization, resilience, and long-term planning. Financial pressure diminishes as obligations decrease, creating space for opportunity, creativity, and growth. Debt freedom is a prerequisite for autonomy, allowing choices to be made from a position of strength rather than necessity. The quiet approach to debt reduction emphasizes discipline, consistency, and strategic thinking. Avoid impulsive decisions, focus on measurable progress, and reinforce habits that support long-term freedom. Each step builds confidence, reduces risk, and creates financial resilience. The skills developed are applicable not only to money, but also to other areas of life requiring patience, planning, and execution. Debt elimination transforms life by removing constraints that limit potential. It creates clarity, reduces stress, and strengthens independence. When approached with strategy, consistency, and commitment, the process becomes empowering rather than burdensome. Every dollar repaid reinforces control, every milestone achieved strengthens resolve, and every learned lesson deepens financial wisdom. The journey is as valuable as the destination because it cultivates discipline, awareness, and mastery over one's circumstances. Chapter 50. Develop discipline to maintain focus on long-term goals. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. Without it, even the clearest goals remain distant ideas rather than tangible results. Developing discipline requires deliberate effort, consistency, and an understanding of what truly matters. It is not about harsh restriction or punishment, but about aligning daily actions with long-term priorities. Every decision becomes a choice between short-term satisfaction and enduring progress. The ability to maintain focus on goals, despite distractions or discomfort, is what separates success from mediocrity. Discipline is learned, strengthened, and reinforced through repeated, conscious action. The first step is clarity about your long-term objectives. Goals must be defined with precision. Vague intentions like, "I want to be successful," or "I want to save money," are insufficient. Clearly articulate what success looks like, including measurable milestones and specific timeframes. Write them down, review them regularly, and internalize their importance. Clarity provides direction and motivation, making it easier to resist distractions and focus energy on meaningful work. Without precise goals, discipline becomes arbitrary and inconsistent. Routine forms the backbone of sustained discipline. Daily habits create structure and reduce reliance on willpower alone. Identify actions that directly contribute to your long-term goals and integrate them into a consistent schedule. Prioritize critical tasks at optimal times of day to maximize focus and productivity. Over time, routine transforms effort into automatic behavior, reducing resistance and conserving mental energy. Discipline thrives in structured environments where momentum is maintained through repetition and consistency. Understanding priorities is essential. Not all tasks hold equal weight. Distinguish between urgent and important activities. Focus on actions that have the greatest impact on achieving your goals. Avoid being trapped by minor distractions or low-value tasks that consume time without advancing objectives. Prioritization is not reactive, it is proactive management of energy, attention, and resources. Every decision to act on what matters reinforces discipline and accelerates progress. Self-awareness strengthens focus and control. Recognize personal tendencies toward procrastination, distraction, or impulsive decisions. Monitor emotional and mental states that affect performance. Identify triggers that undermine consistency, whether it is fatigue, stress, or environmental distractions. Awareness allows for intentional interventions, such as adjusting routines, setting boundaries, or creating supportive conditions. Discipline is cultivated when the mind is understood and intentionally guided, rather than left to react unconsciously. Incremental progress reinforces commitment. Break larger goals into smaller, achievable steps. Completing these steps consistently creates measurable results and builds confidence. Progress, no matter how small, is evidence that effort produces outcomes. Celebrating incremental achievements sustains motivation without undermining focus. Momentum is created by steady, purposeful action rather than bursts of effort followed by burnout. Discipline grows when results are visible, reinforcing the value of sustained commitment. Accountability enhances adherence to plans. Share objectives with trusted mentors, colleagues, or friends who can monitor progress and provide guidance. External accountability motivates consistency, encourages self-reflection, and reduces rationalization. When actions are observed and discussed, discipline strengthens. Accountability creates social reinforcement, making it less likely to succumb to distractions or neglect responsibilities. Strategic use of accountability supports focus, reduces deviation, and amplifies effectiveness. Delaying gratification is a fundamental aspect of discipline. Prioritize long-term benefits over immediate pleasure. Recognize that small sacrifices today compound into substantial rewards tomorrow. Each choice to resist impulse builds self-control, reinforces consistency, and strengthens focus. This practice is not about denial, but about aligning actions with meaningful objectives. Developing patience and resilience in decision-making ensures that short-term desires do not derail long-term achievements. Environment influences discipline. Surround yourself with conditions that support focus and reduce temptation. Remove distractions, create dedicated spaces for work, and limit access to interruptions. Intentional design of surroundings reinforces habits, reduces reliance on willpower, and encourages sustained effort. Discipline is easier to maintain when external conditions are aligned with internal goals. Every adjustment that enhances focus contributes to consistent execution of plans. Reflection and review consolidate learning. Regularly assess progress, evaluate strategies, and refine approaches. Reflection allows identification of successes, areas for improvement, and adjustment of methods. Discipline is reinforced when actions are measured against results and goals remain relevant. Structured reflection strengthens understanding of personal patterns, enhances problem-solving, and ensures that focus remains aligned with objectives. Continuous evaluation prevents drift and maintains direction. Building resilience is essential for maintaining discipline over time. Challenges, setbacks, and unexpected events are inevitable. A disciplined mindset anticipates obstacles and adapts without losing sight of goals. Resilience is developed through experience, preparation, and commitment to persistence. Each encounter with difficulty is an opportunity to reinforce habits, strengthen willpower, and deepen resolve. Long-term achievement depends not on avoidance of challenges, but on the ability to persist through them with consistency and focus. Visualization supports sustained motivation. Mentally rehearsing the achievement of goals enhances clarity, strengthens commitment, and provides a sense of purpose. Imagining the benefits of success reinforces the importance of disciplined actions. Visualization primes the mind to recognize opportunities and stay committed despite distractions. A vivid mental picture of desired outcomes acts as an anchor, aligning daily behavior with long-term objectives. Time management underpins focus and discipline. Allocate attention to tasks that directly support goals. Plan schedules deliberately, allowing for uninterrupted work periods. Limit multitasking, which reduces efficiency and fragments attention. Structured allocation of time ensures that effort is directed where it creates maximum impact. Every hour spent deliberately reinforces habits and strengthens the capacity to maintain focus over extended periods. Embracing discomfort is part of developing discipline. Long-term goals often require effort that is challenging, monotonous, or uncomfortable. Learning to tolerate difficulty, delay rewards, and persist through fatigue strengthens self-mastery. Discipline is not built in comfort. It is forged through repeated choice to act despite resistance. Each encounter with difficulty becomes an opportunity to grow mental toughness and reinforce commitment to objectives. Learning from setbacks reinforces growth. Mistakes and delays are inevitable, but they are not failures if used as lessons. Analyze causes, adjust approaches, and continue with renewed focus. Resilience is strengthened by reflection, adaptation, and determination. Discipline deepens when challenges are met with thoughtful response rather than abandonment. Each recovery reinforces the ability to maintain consistency under varying conditions. Maintaining physical and mental health supports discipline. Energy, focus, and clarity are enhanced by adequate rest, nutrition, and exercise. Physical well-being reinforces mental resilience, reduces susceptibility to distraction, and supports sustained performance. Discipline thrives when the body is prepared to meet the demands of consistent action. Neglecting health undermines capacity for focus and increases vulnerability to lapses in commitment. Self-reward reinforces habits and encourages persistence. Recognize effort and achievement without losing focus on long-term objectives. Appropriate recognition sustains motivation and strengthens resolve. Rewards create positive feedback loops that make disciplined behavior more attractive and self-reinforcing. Balanced reward systems complement self-control, preventing burnout while reinforcing consistency. Commitment to continuous improvement strengthens discipline. Seek feedback, refine methods, and enhance skills. Consistently challenging yourself to improve ensures that effort remains aligned with evolving objectives. Growth mindset reinforces persistence, adaptability, and focus. Discipline is sustained when each day includes deliberate actions that advance capabilities, enhance effectiveness, and contribute to achieving long-term goals. The practice of journaling supports focus. Recording progress, obstacles, strategies, and reflections clarifies thinking and reinforces commitment. Writing creates accountability, promotes self-awareness, and highlights areas for adjustment. Regular documentation strengthens discipline by providing concrete evidence of effort, progress, and lessons learned. Reflection through writing transforms experience into actionable insight, enhancing sustained focus on goals. Discipline is the foundation for meaningful accomplishment. Every action, decision, and choice builds toward long-term objectives. Consistency, patience, and resilience transform effort into results. Maintaining focus requires conscious effort, alignment with priorities, and avoidance of distractions. Each day offers an opportunity to reinforce habits, sharpen concentration, and act with intention. The quiet approach to life leverages discipline to achieve substantial outcomes, creating freedom, stability, and progress that compounds over time. Chapter 6c. Increase knowledge to make smarter money decisions daily. Knowledge is the most powerful tool for financial growth, and it shapes every decision about money, investments, and opportunity. The ability to make smarter choices depends on consistently acquiring information, analyzing it critically, and applying it strategically. Decisions made without understanding often lead to unnecessary losses, missed opportunities, and frustration. Each day presents an opportunity to expand awareness, refine judgment, and strengthen the capacity to act confidently. Learning is not a one-time event, but a continuous process that compounds over time, just like money itself. Start by identifying areas where knowledge gaps exist. Understanding personal finance, investing principles, taxation, and market dynamics creates a foundation for informed choices. Awareness of these areas reduces reliance on guesswork and instinct, replacing uncertainty with calculated action. Evaluate which topics most directly impact immediate and long-term financial goals and prioritize learning accordingly. Knowledge aligned with purpose accelerates decision-making and increases the likelihood of positive outcomes. Develop a habit of reading regularly. Books, reputable articles, research papers, and case studies provide insights that are inaccessible through casual observation alone. Focus on sources that challenge thinking, expose new strategies, and provide practical guidance. Reading expands perspective, introduces innovative ideas, and sharpens analytical skills. Consistency in reading ensures that knowledge grows steadily, enabling daily decisions to be informed and deliberate. Every page absorbed contributes to a stronger foundation for action. Engage with experts and mentors. Individuals who have navigated similar financial paths offer wisdom, practical experience, and perspective. Their insights reveal pitfalls to avoid and strategies that are effective in real-world contexts. Learning from others' successes and failures accelerates understanding and reduces unnecessary risk. Regular interaction with knowledgeable advisors or mentors deepens comprehension, provides accountability, and reinforces commitment to making smarter financial choices. Practical experience reinforces knowledge. Theory alone is insufficient without application. Applying learned principles to budgeting, investing, and financial planning consolidates understanding and reveals nuances that cannot be taught abstractly. Start with small, manageable actions, observe outcomes, and adjust strategies accordingly. Each real-world decision strengthens judgment, builds confidence, and improves capacity for more complex financial management. Action validates learning and converts knowledge into tangible results. Analyze outcomes critically. Every financial decision provides feedback that can refine understanding. Examine successes and failures without judgment, extracting lessons that inform future action. Understanding cause and effect ensures that patterns are recognized, repeated, or corrected. Reflection transforms experience into strategic insight, making subsequent decisions more precise and effective. Daily review of choices creates a feedback loop that continuously improves financial literacy. Use technology to enhance knowledge acquisition. Financial software, investment apps, online courses, and educational platforms provide tools for tracking, analysis, and simulation. Digital resources accelerate learning, offer real-time data, and allow experimentation in controlled environments. Leveraging technology reduces uncertainty and provides clarity when making decisions. Familiarity with these tools enhances capability to act efficiently and confidently, improving the quality of daily financial decisions. Develop analytical skills. Assessing opportunities, risks, and potential returns requires the ability to interpret data, identify trends, and anticipate outcomes. Avoid relying solely on intuition. Use structured analysis to evaluate each choice. Critical thinking allows identification of value, recognition of hidden pitfalls, and prioritization of resources effectively. Analytical skills empower proactive decision-making, increasing accuracy and reducing errors. Repeated practice strengthens the ability to evaluate complex scenarios quickly and reliably. Stay informed about market trends and economic conditions. Understanding the broader environment ensures that financial decisions consider context, timing, and opportunity. Awareness of global and local developments, interest rates, and policy changes allows adaptation and strategic action. Informed individuals are able to anticipate shifts, minimize risk, and position themselves advantageously. Knowledge of the external environment complements internal understanding, creating a comprehensive perspective for smarter money management. Cultivate curiosity and a growth mindset. Ask questions, explore alternatives, and challenge assumptions. Curiosity leads to discovery, innovative strategies, and deeper insight, Avoid complacency. Assume there is always more to learn and new perspectives to consider. Continuous inquiry strengthens critical thinking, reinforces adaptability, and enhances decision-making capabilities. The growth mindset transforms learning into a lifelong habit, ensuring that each day contributes to increasing competence and financial intelligence. Keep detailed records and review them regularly. Tracking income, expenses, investments, and performance provides tangible data for analysis. Reviewing records allows recognition of patterns, identification of opportunities, and correction of mistakes. Knowledge anchored in real evidence is more reliable than assumptions or memory alone. Detailed records support planning, forecasting, and strategic adjustments. Daily engagement with data strengthens awareness, reinforces discipline, and improves the accuracy of financial decisions. Learn the principles of risk management. Understanding probability, diversification, and potential downsides is essential for protecting capital while seeking growth. Knowledge of risk allows calculated exposure, preventing decisions that could cause unnecessary losses. Managing uncertainty is a critical component of financial intelligence, and each decision should reflect a balance between opportunity and caution. Discipline combined with informed risk assessment ensures sustainability and progress over time. Engage in continuous skill development. Learning about negotiation, financial planning, investment strategies, and behavioral psychology enhances the ability to make smarter decisions. Skills complement knowledge, providing practical tools to act effectively. Each new skill adds leverage to existing capabilities, expanding options and increasing confidence in daily financial choices. Focused skill acquisition accelerates results and enhances overall effectiveness in managing money. Integrate knowledge into daily habits. Learning is most powerful when it directly informs behavior. Apply principles to budgeting, spending, saving, and investing consistently. Use insights to guide choices, optimize efficiency, and increase returns. Knowledge without action remains inert. Integrating learning into routine ensures that insight translates into measurable impact. Consistent application reinforces understanding and gradually improves financial outcomes. Seek diverse perspectives to challenge assumptions. Exposure to multiple viewpoints prevents narrow thinking and provides new ideas. Understanding different approaches, markets, or strategies reduces bias and strengthens decision-making. Evaluating alternatives enhances judgment and allows for more nuanced, informed choices. Diversity of knowledge creates flexibility, adaptability, and improved capacity to navigate complexity. Develop patience in knowledge application. Not every decision yields immediate results, and insight often compounds over time. Consistent, informed action produces cumulative benefits. Avoid rushing or seeking quick wins at the expense of accuracy. Patience allows strategic thinking, measured responses, and optimization of outcomes. Understanding that knowledge grows in value through disciplined application fosters long-term success. Teach and share knowledge. Explaining concepts to others reinforces personal understanding and highlights areas that require clarification. Teaching transforms abstract understanding into actionable clarity and strengthens memory retention. Sharing insights also creates accountability and encourages continuous exploration. Engaging others in learning transforms knowledge into a dynamic, usable asset that enhances decision-making capability. Monitor the influence of emotions on decisions. Knowledge must be applied rationally rather than impulsively. Emotional awareness prevents poor choices driven by fear, excitement, or anxiety. Integrating emotional intelligence with financial knowledge enhances judgment, improves timing, and reduces unnecessary risk. Awareness of cognitive biases and emotional triggers ensures that insight is translated into practical and effective action. Evaluate results and refine strategies. Learning is iterative. Each outcome informs the next choice. Adjust approaches based on experience, feedback, and new information. Continuous refinement ensures that knowledge remains relevant, decisions improve over time, and mistakes are minimized. Discipline in evaluation and adjustment transforms information into long-term advantage. Finally, view knowledge as an investment in itself. Every hour spent learning compounds into better judgment, improved decisions, and increased wealth potential. Knowledge equips you to identify opportunities, avoid pitfalls, and act decisively. Daily engagement with learning ensures that every financial choice is informed, strategic, and aligned with long-term objectives. The quiet approach to wealth values intelligence as a resource, recognizing that informed decisions consistently outperform impulsive or uninformed actions. Chapter 70: Protect assets to ensure stability through every situation. Protecting assets is a fundamental step in ensuring that the wealth you have worked to create remains secure and continues to grow over time. It is not enough to earn and invest. Without protection, unforeseen events, mistakes, or external threats can quickly undo years of effort. Asset protection is a discipline, a combination of foresight, planning, and strategic action that shields resources from loss while maximizing stability. The goal is to create a system where your money, property, investments, and income streams remain resilient in the face of challenges. Begin by identifying all assets. Understand what you own, the value of each item, and the risk factors associated with it. Assets include not only cash and investments but also property, business interests, intellectual property, and personal possessions. Clarity about holdings allows for targeted protection strategies. Inventorying assets provides perspective, highlights vulnerabilities, and sets the stage for deliberate action. Without knowing what needs protection, you cannot create effective safeguards. Insurance is a key pillar of protection. Appropriate coverage mitigates financial risk from accidents, natural disasters, liability claims, and health emergencies. Evaluate policies regularly to ensure they match the current value of assets and the level of exposure. Adequate coverage reduces the likelihood of catastrophic losses, allowing confidence in continuing investment and growth. Risk cannot be eliminated entirely, but insurance transfers a portion of potential loss to a reliable system, ensuring stability. Legal structures also play a crucial role. Entities such as trusts, limited liability companies, and corporations can shield personal assets from business liabilities, lawsuits, or creditor claims. Properly implemented, these structures create separation between personal wealth and risk-prone activities. Legal protection requires careful planning, consultation with professionals, and ongoing compliance. A well-organized legal framework acts as a barrier against external threats and allows freedom to pursue opportunities without excessive exposure to loss. Diversification is another essential tool. Spread investments across multiple asset classes, industries, and geographic regions. Avoid concentrating wealth in a single property, stock, or venture. Diversification reduces vulnerability to market volatility, economic shifts, and sector-specific downturns. It ensures that even if one area experiences decline, other holdings maintain stability and growth. Balancing risk across multiple channels strengthens resilience and protects overall wealth from concentrated exposure. Maintain liquidity as part of an asset protection strategy. Having readily accessible funds ensures that obligations can be met without forced liquidation of investments at unfavorable prices. Emergency reserves, savings accounts, and short-term liquid instruments provide flexibility and prevent unnecessary losses during unexpected circumstances. Liquidity is not about stagnation but about readiness, allowing swift response to challenges without compromising long-term plans. Monitor legal and regulatory environments. Laws, taxes, and regulations change, affecting the vulnerability of assets. Staying informed allows timely adjustments to protect wealth from penalties, compliance issues, or structural vulnerabilities. Regularly reviewing the legal context ensures that protection measures remain valid, effective, and aligned with current requirements. Proactive awareness reduces the likelihood of surprises that could undermine stability. Debt management intersects with asset protection. Avoid excessive leverage that creates vulnerability to market fluctuations or personal setbacks. Debt should be strategic and manageable, not a source of risk that threatens existing assets. Prioritize paying down obligations that could compromise security while maintaining access to beneficial financing that supports growth. Controlled use of debt strengthens stability and preserves the integrity of wealth. Documentation is critical. Maintain accurate records of ownership, value, and agreements for all assets. Proper documentation facilitates legal protection, supports claims, and provides clarity during disputes. Organized records simplify decision-making, ensure transparency, and create a foundation for implementing protective measures. A well-documented portfolio reduces uncertainty and reinforces security. Review and adjust strategies continuously. Protection is not a one-time action but an ongoing process. As assets grow, circumstances change, and external threats evolve, strategies must adapt accordingly. Regular evaluation ensures that coverage, legal structures, and risk management practices remain effective. Discipline in monitoring and updating safeguards ensures that vulnerabilities are minimized and stability is maintained over time. Develop a mindset of vigilance. Recognize that threats to assets may be subtle or delayed. Cybersecurity, identity theft, fraud, and opportunistic claims are modern risks that require awareness and proactive measures. Maintaining vigilance involves monitoring financial activity, using secure systems, and educating oneself about emerging risks. Awareness and preparedness reduce exposure and strengthen the ability to respond effectively. Protecting physical property requires both preventive measures and contingency planning. Security systems, maintenance, and careful oversight reduce risk of damage, theft, or loss. Contingency plans, including insurance, emergency response protocols, and professional advice, ensure that even if an event occurs, recovery is feasible and losses are minimized. Physical safeguards complement financial and legal protections to create comprehensive stability. Asset protection extends to intellectual and intangible property. Ideas, brand equity, patents, and digital assets require registration, legal protection, and monitoring. These assets often represent significant value and must be actively safeguarded from infringement, misuse, or unauthorized exploitation. Awareness of the mechanisms for protection ensures that intangible wealth remains secure and continues contributing to long-term stability. Establish boundaries for personal and business relationships that impact assets. Partnerships, joint ventures, and financial arrangements carry risk if not clearly defined and legally formalized. Contracts, agreements, and clear communication prevent misunderstandings and minimize exposure to claims. Protecting wealth includes protecting the terms under which it is held and shared. Clarity in relationships reinforces stability and reduces potential sources of conflict. Contingency planning is essential for unforeseen events. Develop strategies for sudden financial stress, economic downturns, health crises, or natural disasters. Backup plans, reserve funds, and adaptable strategies ensure that assets are not compromised under pressure. Preparing for adversity strengthens resilience and maintains the integrity of wealth even during challenging conditions. Behavioral discipline is a form of protection. Avoid impulsive purchases, high-risk speculation, or decisions driven by emotion. Thoughtful, deliberate action reduces vulnerability to loss. Each choice should be evaluated against potential risks and benefits. A disciplined approach ensures that protective measures are effective and consistently applied, preserving the security of assets over time. Regularly educate yourself about emerging risks and opportunities. Financial literacy, legal awareness, and market understanding enhance the capacity to protect assets proactively. Continuous learning allows adaptation to changing circumstances and prevents complacency. Knowledge combined with strategic action forms the foundation for lasting security and confidence in decision-making. Networking and trusted professional support amplify protection. Accountants, lawyers, financial advisors, and insurance specialists provide expertise and guidance. Collaborating with qualified professionals ensures that strategies are comprehensive, compliant, and effective. Expert advice complements personal vigilance, reducing blind spots and increasing the robustness of protection measures. Asset protection is ultimately about preserving freedom. Wealth without security is vulnerable and fragile, limiting options and creating anxiety. Protecting what you have allows focus on growth, opportunity, and purposeful action. Security provides the space to take calculated risks, pursue ventures confidently, and maintain resilience against unforeseen events. Stability forms the foundation for strategic expansion and long-term success. Consistent application of protective strategies cultivates confidence, reduces stress, and reinforces a proactive mindset. Each layer of security, from legal structures to insurance, diversification, and behavioral discipline, strengthens the integrity of wealth. The quiet approach to asset management prioritizes sustainability over spectacle, stability over risk, and deliberate action over chance. Over time, these measures compound into a reliable foundation that supports both personal and financial objectives. Protecting assets is not a one-time achievement but a lifelong practice. Continuous attention, adaptation, and reinforcement ensure that wealth remains resilient through economic cycles, personal challenges, and market volatility. Every proactive step reduces vulnerability, strengthens decision-making, and creates the conditions for uninterrupted growth. The practice of protection is itself a form of discipline, patience, and strategic foresight. Asset protection transforms uncertainty into stability, vulnerability into resilience, and opportunity into sustainable progress. It allows wealth to serve its purpose rather than being consumed by risk. By integrating legal, financial, behavioral, and practical measures, you ensure that every resource is safeguarded, every decision informed, and every outcome optimized. Security enables freedom to act decisively, plan boldly, and pursue long-term objectives with confidence. Chapter 80. Practice patience to let wealth compound over time. Patience is the quiet force behind lasting wealth. The ability to delay gratification and allow resources to grow steadily separates those who accumulate sustainable prosperity from those who pursue fleeting gains. Compounding is not a mysterious formula. It is the natural outcome of consistent effort, time, and the disciplined application of money. Every dollar invested, every saving retained, and every smart decision left untouched has the potential to multiply when given space to mature. Impatience often leads to rushed choices, speculative risks, and the erosion of hard-earned capital. Learning to trust the process and honor the timeline of growth is fundamental to financial success. Understanding the power of compounding begins with clarity about how wealth accumulates. Interest on savings, returns on investments, dividends, and reinvested profits all contribute to growth that accelerates over time. The earlier one begins, the more pronounced the effect. Even modest contributions, when applied consistently and left undisturbed, can expand into significant wealth. The principle is simple: patience amplifies results. Recognizing this truth shifts focus from instant gratification to long-term strategy, transforming the mindset from reactive spending to deliberate accumulation. Resist the temptation to chase quick returns. Many are drawn to high-risk ventures promising rapid wealth, but these often jeopardize the stability built through patient effort. Sustainable growth relies on steady, reliable approaches rather than speculative excitement. Each decision to prioritize security and continuity reinforces the compounding effect. Wealth built gradually is resilient, durable, and capable of withstanding fluctuations in the market or personal circumstances. Patience converts ordinary choices into extraordinary outcomes over time. Developing patience requires discipline in both thought and action. Avoid impulsive spending and refrain from frequent portfolio adjustments driven by short-term market movements. Monitor progress, but do not allow temporary fluctuations to provoke reactive decisions. Discipline ensures that resources remain in place long enough to realize their full potential. Consistency in application, even when results are not immediately visible, strengthens financial foundation and reinforces the value of waiting for growth to manifest naturally. Set clear goals that define long-term objectives. Goals provide purpose and context for patience. Knowing what you aim to achieve makes it easier to resist distractions, evaluate opportunities wisely, and maintain focus on strategies that accumulate wealth gradually. Without clearly defined targets, the mind seeks immediate rewards, undermining compounding. Articulated goals guide daily decisions, ensuring that each action contributes meaningfully to the overarching plan and aligns with the timeline necessary for accumulation. Automate contributions to savings and investment accounts. Regular, automated transfers reduce reliance on fluctuating motivation and eliminate the risk of delaying action. Automation ensures that compounding begins as early as possible and continues uninterrupted. Small, consistent contributions made systematically create a powerful effect over time, often surpassing sporadic large efforts. The process becomes habitual, reinforcing patience and removing friction from long-term planning. Learn to embrace delays as a natural and productive part of growth. Avoid the mindset that immediate results are necessary for success. Recognize that meaningful outcomes, whether financial, professional, or personal, require time, nurturing, and consistent attention. The ability to accept delayed rewards strengthens character, builds resilience, and increases the likelihood of sustainable achievement. Impatience erodes progress, while measured waiting enhances the yield of every action taken. Monitor progress strategically without becoming reactive. Regular review of investments, savings, and financial plans provides insight, but constant tinkering diminishes the benefits of compounding. Observe patterns, evaluate trends, and adjust only when fundamental conditions warrant change. Patience is reinforced when decisions are made with careful reasoning rather than impulsive emotion. Understanding the difference between constructive monitoring and disruptive interference is key to maximizing long-term growth. Reinvest returns to accelerate compounding. Dividends, interest, and profits should be left in the system to generate additional growth rather than consumed immediately. Reinvestment magnifies the impact of time on capital, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of accumulation. Every reinvested unit contributes to exponential growth over years. The decision to allow money to remain active and productive leverages patience into measurable wealth, demonstrating the tangible benefits of restraint and long-term thinking. Avoid comparing progress to others. Wealth accumulation follows individual timelines influenced by circumstances, choices, and initial conditions. Comparison often fuels impatience and poor decisions. Focus on personal growth, consistency, and adherence to your strategy. Trusting your path ensures that compounding works in your favor and reinforces the value of disciplined waiting. Individual trajectories cannot be rushed, and acknowledging this creates peace, focus, and resilience in pursuit of financial objectives. Cultivate mental and emotional resilience to sustain patience. Financial growth can be slow and setbacks are inevitable. Maintaining composure, clarity, and perspective prevents reactionary decisions that compromise compounding. Emotional control is as critical as technical knowledge in achieving long-term results. Each challenge faced without succumbing to impulse strengthens the capacity to allow wealth to grow steadily and predictably over time. Educate yourself about historical trends in finance and investing. Understanding how markets, interest rates, and investments have performed over decades provides perspective. Short-term volatility is normal, and gains require endurance. Knowledge of patterns reinforces patience and discourages premature decisions driven by fear or excitement. Awareness of historical context instills confidence in long-term strategies and validates the principle that wealth multiplies through persistent, steady application rather than sudden actions. Maintain a lifestyle aligned with long-term growth. Avoid unnecessary expenditures that divert resources from investments. Moderate living creates flexibility, reduces stress, and ensures that resources are available to maximize compounding. Consistent allocation toward productive use rather than consumption enhances results and reinforces the habit of patience. Every choice to preserve capital contributes to a stronger foundation for wealth accumulation. Seek professional guidance when appropriate. Financial advisors, investment experts, and trusted mentors can provide strategies that optimize growth while minimizing unnecessary risk. Guidance ensures that decisions remain strategic, efficient, and compatible with long-term objectives. Expertise complements personal discipline, reinforcing the patience necessary for compounding to work effectively. Informed choices accelerate results while maintaining the integrity of resources. Develop the ability to tolerate uncertainty. Markets fluctuate, economies shift, and returns are not linear. Accepting variability without panic allows strategies to play out fully. Patience is cultivated by understanding that progress may be invisible temporarily, but manifests powerfully over years. Trust in the mechanics of compounding reduces anxiety and encourages consistent application of proven principles, ensuring that resources grow optimally over time. Document growth and celebrate milestones without undermining the principle of patience. Recognize progress and reinforcement for sustained effort. but avoid overreaction to short-term gains. Celebrating small achievements provides motivation while reinforcing the importance of maintaining a long-term perspective. A disciplined approach to recognition strengthens commitment to continued application and nurtures the mindset necessary for wealth to accumulate steadily. Practice gratitude and contentment while waiting for results. Appreciation for the process reduces the psychological pressure to act prematurely. Satisfaction with incremental progress supports emotional balance, reinforcing patience and sustaining commitment. Wealth grows not only through financial strategies, but also through the mindset that embraces steady accumulation with confidence and composure. Each day of consistent effort is itself a measure of success. Teach and model patience in decision-making. Sharing principles of delayed gratification, disciplined investment, and consistent growth reinforces personal understanding and strengthens habits. Explaining the value of compounding consolidates knowledge and builds accountability. Mentoring others in patience also benefits personal practice, creating a cycle of reinforcement that nurtures both character and financial stability. In conclusion, patience is the engine that allows wealth to compound and multiply over time. Every consistent action, every reinvested return, and every deliberate decision left undisturbed contributes to a growing foundation of security and abundance. Impulsive choices, impatience, and short-term thinking undermine potential, while consistent restraint and disciplined application allow resources to generate exponential results. The quiet accumulation of wealth requires trust in the process, disciplined execution, and the wisdom to recognize that time is one of the most powerful allies in achieving lasting prosperity. Chapter 9 says optimize lifestyle to save more and spend intentionally. Optimizing your lifestyle is a cornerstone of financial efficiency and long-term wealth. Every choice you make, from daily routines to major purchases, affects how much you save and how effectively you use resources. Living intentionally means understanding the connection between habits, spending patterns, and future security. It is not about deprivation or living minimally for its own sake. It is about aligning actions with priorities, maximizing value, and ensuring that every expenditure serves a purpose. Optimized living creates space for saving, investing, and building financial resilience while still allowing for meaningful experiences. Begin by analyzing current spending habits. Track every expense for several weeks to understand where money is going. Identify patterns that are wasteful, unnecessary, or misaligned with long-term goals. Awareness is the first step toward intentionality because unconscious spending drains resources without producing benefit. Once habits are visible, prioritize expenditures that support health, growth, and meaningful life experiences while minimizing those that provide only fleeting satisfaction. Establish clear priorities for spending. Distinguish between needs and wants, and allocate resources according to what will have the greatest long-term impact. Essential items like housing, food, healthcare, and education should be maintained without compromise. Discretionary spending should be evaluated based on value, utility, and alignment with goals. Prioritization ensures that money is directed toward areas that reinforce stability and growth, creating a foundation for both immediate well-being and future wealth. Create a budget that reflects priorities and intentions. Budgets are not restrictive. They are tools for control and clarity. Assign categories for necessities, savings, investments, and discretionary spending. Include a buffer for unexpected expenses to avoid financial strain. A functional budget allows you to monitor progress, make informed decisions, and reduce waste. It transforms vague intentions into concrete action plans that guide daily choices. Automate saving and investing. Consistency is key, and automation reduces reliance on willpower alone. Schedule transfers to savings accounts, retirement funds, or investment portfolios to ensure that a portion of income is consistently allocated to growth. Automation turns saving into a non-negotiable habit, reducing the temptation to spend impulsively. Every automated contribution compounds over time, reinforcing financial discipline and supporting long-term objectives. Evaluate lifestyle expenses critically. Subscriptions, memberships, and recurring costs often accumulate unnoticed. Review each expense periodically and eliminate what is unnecessary or redundant. Small, consistent reductions can free significant resources when redirected towards savings or investments. Intentional examination of recurring costs ensures that money is used effectively and aligns with both values and objectives. Adopt habits that increase efficiency and reduce waste. Simple actions such as preparing meals at home, using public transportation when feasible, or consolidating errands minimize unnecessary costs. These habits preserve resources while maintaining quality of life. Efficiency reduces friction in financial management and allows more funds to be directed toward productive use. Over time, small savings accumulate into substantial amounts that support both security and growth. Focus on quality over quantity. When making purchases, prioritize items that are durable, functional, and meaningful. Avoid accumulation of low-quality goods that require replacement or fail to provide lasting satisfaction. Intentional spending emphasizes value rather than volume, ensuring that resources are allocated to items that genuinely improve life while reducing repeated expenditures. Thoughtful selection reinforces discipline and supports a sustainable lifestyle. Limit exposure to impulse spending. Recognize triggers that lead to unnecessary purchases, whether advertising, social influence, or emotional states. Implement strategies to delay decisions, such as waiting 24 hours before buying or comparing alternatives. Reducing impulsive behavior preserves capital and strengthens the ability to act with intention. Each avoided impulse reinforces the habit of deliberate, purposeful spending. Invest in experiences rather than material possessions. Studies show that experiences often provide more lasting satisfaction than items, fostering personal growth, relationships, and memory. Allocate resources to travel, learning, and meaningful social interactions that enhance life without unnecessary accumulation. Experiences enrich perspective, support mental well-being, and often contribute to indirect financial growth through skill development and expanded networks. Implement a system for tracking value gained from spending. Evaluate each expense based on return, whether practical, emotional, or strategic. Consider whether resources could be used more effectively elsewhere. This reflective approach encourages alignment between actions and objectives, ensuring that money is spent consciously rather than habitually. Tracking value creates accountability, enhances awareness, and promotes deliberate decision-making in all areas of life. Optimize recurring costs for long-term benefit. Negotiate rates for utilities, insurance, or subscriptions to reduce ongoing expenditures. Small savings consistently applied have a compounding effect on overall resources. Regular review and adjustment of recurring expenses prevent unnoticed leaks that can gradually undermine financial goals. Strategic management of ongoing costs ensures that lifestyle choices support rather than hinder progress. Balance lifestyle optimization with quality of life. Intentional living does not mean constant restriction, it means aligning resources with purpose. Allocate funds to maintain health, personal growth, relationships, and experiences that matter. A balanced approach ensures that savings and investments are prioritized while life remains fulfilling. Intentional optimization enhances both financial security and overall satisfaction. Develop long-term purchasing strategies. Plan major acquisitions around financial capacity, potential return on investment, and alignment with objectives. Avoid impulsive large purchases that strain resources or divert capital from growth. Deliberate planning allows purchases to complement rather than compromise financial strategy. Each major decision becomes an opportunity to reinforce discipline, build security, and optimize the overall lifestyle. Embrace frugality as a strategic choice, not a limitation. Frugality is the conscious use of resources to maximize benefit, not deprivation. By valuing purpose over excess, individuals can direct more resources toward investments, savings, and growth opportunities. Frugality strengthens control over money, reinforces patience, and supports long-term objectives. Each thoughtful choice reinforces the habit of intentional living and ensures that resources are allocated wisely. Leverage community and shared resources when possible. Collaborative use of resources, shared housing, co-working spaces, and group learning opportunities can reduce costs while maintaining access to valuable services. Sharing strategically enhances efficiency and preserves capital for growth and investment. Resource optimization through collaboration is a practical method of stretching finances without sacrificing quality or experience. Regularly review lifestyle and financial alignment. Life circumstances change and spending priorities must adapt accordingly. Conduct periodic evaluations to ensure that habits, expenditures, and investments remain consistent with evolving objectives. Flexibility and adjustment prevent stagnation, maintain efficiency, and enhance the effectiveness of lifestyle optimization over time. Continuous alignment ensures that resources are consistently applied toward meaningful growth. Practice mindful consumption. Before purchasing, ask whether the item or service truly adds value, enhances life, or aligns with priorities. This conscious evaluation reduces waste, reinforces discipline, and strengthens long-term planning. Mindful consumption cultivates awareness, prevents unnecessary depletion of resources, and ensures that every expenditure contributes purposefully to overall well-being. Integrate lifestyle optimization with broader financial strategy. Savings, investments, and spending habits should function cohesively, supporting overall objectives. Intentional living strengthens each element, allowing them to complement rather than conflict. Integrated strategies enhance efficiency, accelerate growth, and create a resilient foundation for long-term financial stability. Cohesion ensures that lifestyle choices do not undermine progress but actively reinforce success. Finally, recognize that lifestyle optimization is a continuous process. Circumstances, goals, and priorities evolve, requiring ongoing evaluation and adaptation. Daily attention to habits, spending, and resource allocation ensures that decisions remain intentional and effective. The quiet approach to wealth emphasizes consistent, thoughtful action that maximizes savings, directs spending purposefully, and creates sustainable growth over time. Discipline, awareness, and deliberate choices form the framework for a life where wealth is managed intelligently, growth is consistent, and resources serve long-term objectives without sacrificing quality of life. Chapter Hundi: Give strategically to create impact and receive abundance. Giving strategically is one of the most powerful ways to create lasting impact while fostering abundance in life. It is not about giving randomly or merely out of obligation. Strategic giving aligns resources with purpose, intention, and vision. When approached thoughtfully, giving becomes a tool for building influence, supporting meaningful causes, strengthening relationships, and generating opportunities that return value in both tangible and intangible ways. The Quiet Millionaire understands that resources are most powerful when directed intentionally, and that generosity practiced with strategy can multiply the impact far beyond the initial contribution. Start by clarifying values and priorities. Understanding what matters most allows giving to align with personal goals, principles, and passions. Identify causes, individuals, or initiatives that reflect these priorities. Contributions should reinforce purpose and foster outcomes that matter. Strategic giving is effective because it is intentional, focused, and directed toward efforts that produce measurable or meaningful results. Clarity in values ensures that generosity supports growth, influence, and sustainability rather than being scattered or superficial. Evaluate where resources can have the greatest impact. Some contributions provide immediate relief, others generate long-term change, and some create ripple effects that benefit communities or industries. Understanding the potential effect of each act of giving allows for smarter decisions. High-impact giving ensures that resources are used efficiently and creates satisfaction through tangible outcomes. Assessing opportunities before committing allows generosity to become a strategic investment rather than an impulsive expense. Consider giving that creates mutual benefit. Strategic generosity does not solely involve charity. It can include mentorship, partnerships, or support that builds capacity and creates value for both parties. Providing resources, guidance, or connections can empower others while enhancing your influence and strengthening networks. Giving with foresight creates a cycle of reciprocity, reinforcing relationships and opening doors to opportunities that might not otherwise exist. Leverage expertise along with resources. Monetary contributions are powerful, but combining them with knowledge, time, and skills amplifies impact. Sharing expertise through teaching, consulting, or training complements financial support and multiplies effectiveness. Strategic giving integrates multiple forms of value, ensuring that contributions produce maximum benefit and reinforce personal growth, reputation, and influence. Every action is an extension of resources and knowledge, amplifying results beyond the financial contribution alone. Set measurable goals for giving. Determine what you hope to achieve with each act of generosity. Tracking outcomes allows assessment of effectiveness and informs future decisions. Measurable giving ensures that contributions are purposeful, impactful, and aligned with long-term vision. Accountability transforms generosity into a disciplined practice, strengthening the ability to evaluate and refine strategies for greater effect over time. Practice consistency in giving. Small, regular contributions often produce more significant results than sporadic, large donations. Consistent generosity builds relationships, reinforces values, and establishes trust. By giving systematically, whether through scheduled donations, recurring support, or ongoing mentorship, resources compound in value and impact. Regularity strengthens influence and demonstrates commitment, creating lasting impressions that extend beyond immediate contributions. Diversify giving to maximize effect. Support multiple areas, causes, or projects that align with priorities. Diversification reduces dependency on a single initiative while broadening the scope of influence and impact. Strategic diversification ensures that generosity reaches different segments, addresses various needs, and leverages multiple avenues to create sustainable change. Each contribution becomes part of a larger framework that reinforces long-term objectives. Integrate giving with personal and professional networks. Leverage connections to amplify impact and create collaborative initiatives. Strategic coordination with others enhances efficiency, reduces duplication, and increases reach. Combining resources, expertise, and influence creates a multiplier effect, allowing a single contribution to produce far-reaching outcomes. Strategic integration ensures that generosity strengthens community and fosters sustainable development rather than isolated, limited action. Balance giving with personal financial security. Generosity should not compromise stability or long-term growth. Allocate resources carefully to ensure that giving is sustainable, consistent, and strategic. Planning contributions within a financial framework allows for both personal advancement and impactful support. Abundance flows naturally when resources are managed wisely, enabling giving that is generous, intentional, and enduring. Embrace transparency in giving. Clear communication of intentions, expectations, and outcomes enhances trust and strengthens relationships with recipients and collaborators. Transparency ensures that resources are used effectively and reduces misunderstandings. Strategic giving thrives when clarity accompanies contributions, allowing impact to be measured and refined over time. Accountability transforms generosity into a disciplined practice that builds credibility and influence. Seek feedback and evaluate impact. Understanding how contributions are received and utilized allows continuous improvement. Assessing results informs future decisions, ensuring that giving remains purposeful, effective, and aligned with evolving priorities. Learning from each experience strengthens judgment, increases effectiveness, and maximizes the benefit of resources over time. Reflection ensures that generosity contributes to meaningful outcomes rather than acting as a symbolic gesture. Incorporate giving into long-term planning. Treat generosity as a component of financial strategy, integrated with savings, investments, and lifestyle choices. Strategic planning ensures that resources are allocated for maximum impact while preserving sustainability. By embedding giving into broader objectives, generosity becomes a consistent, reinforcing practice rather than sporadic or reactive behavior. Long-term alignment strengthens both personal and communal benefit. Empower recipients rather than creating dependency. Effective giving provides tools, resources, or guidance that enable recipients to build capacity, solve problems, and achieve goals independently. Empowerment multiplies impact, ensuring that support produces sustainable outcomes rather than temporary relief. Strategic generosity focuses on long-term transformation, encouraging self-sufficiency and reinforcing the positive cycle of abundance. teach and model strategic giving. Sharing principles of intentional generosity encourages others to adopt similar practices. Mentoring, public speaking, or informal guidance reinforces personal commitment and multiplies societal impact. Demonstrating disciplined giving strengthens credibility and influence, creating a culture where generosity is purposeful, effective, and aligned with long-term objectives. Modeling behavior inspires others and reinforces personal habits. Develop patience in observing outcomes. Impact may not be immediate, and meaningful results often take time to manifest. Giving strategically requires trust in the process, resilience, and commitment. Patience ensures that contributions are sustained, nurtured, and monitored for effectiveness, allowing resources to generate significant long-term impact. Immediate gratification should not drive generosity. The quiet approach values delayed but substantial influence. Leverage giving as a platform for growth. Strategic generosity can create opportunities for learning, networking, and personal development. By supporting initiatives, projects, or individuals aligned with growth areas, resources simultaneously produce external impact and internal advancement. Giving strategically expands both influence and personal capacity, turning generosity into a tool for holistic success. Practice gratitude and reflection in giving. Recognize the privilege of having resources to share and the responsibility to use them wisely. Reflection strengthens purpose, reinforces discipline, and enhances the sense of fulfillment derived from generosity. Mindful acknowledgement of the benefits of giving ensures that actions are deliberate, intentional, and aligned with core principles. Gratitude reinforces the mindset that abundance is both a responsibility and an opportunity. Integrate giving with long-term vision. Consider how each act aligns with broader personal and professional objectives. Contributions should support a coherent plan, creating a network of impact that grows over time. Strategic alignment maximizes effectiveness and ensures that resources contribute both to external benefit and personal fulfillment. Every act of generosity becomes a building block in a larger structure of meaningful influence and sustained abundance. Finally, recognize that strategic giving multiplies both impact and abundance. Generosity practiced intentionally with focus, evaluation, and consistency produces tangible outcomes, strengthens relationships, reinforces values, and creates opportunities for growth. Wealth is not only measured by accumulation but by the ability to contribute meaningfully while sustaining personal security and growth. Strategic giving transforms resources into influence, relationships, and lasting legacy, demonstrating that abundance grows when it is shared thoughtfully, intentionally, and with purpose.